What is up, Bills Mafia? Welcome to another episode of Circling the Wagons, Buffalo Fan Base Podcast. I am your host, Nate. Guys, breaking news, James Cook, running back James Cook for the Buffalo Bills just got extended for a 4-year, $48 million contract extension that keeps him with the Buffalo Bills through 2029. Of that $48 million contract, $30 million is guaranteed. So we're going to discuss that, a few other things. So let's get right into it. Thoughts on the James Cook contract. I'm okay with it. I like it. I think that James Cook, as a Bills fan, is one of the most electric running backs we've had since LaShawn McCoy. And I know that's tough. LaShawn McCoy could potentially be a Hall of Famer very soon. So that's tough to compare to, but he has moves, he has speed, he has vision. Once he finds a hole, if he can, he'll push through it and get to the edge, or sweep around the edge to get to a touchdown. I mean, the guy's he's so fun to watch. He's so good. My only hang-up was his usage as a running back and pass protector. I think he can be used more than 48% of the snaps. If you look at all the guys around him that are making roughly the same money or more, they're about, 20%, at least 10, 15, 20% more of the snaps on offense than James Cook is getting. So I'm hoping this is something that they can work on. I know that Brandon Beane said in his press conference today that he would like more pass protection. He didn't specifically say James Cook, but he's saying, 3 down backs. We need, as much as, catching the ball, being able to protect Josh and clean up all the garbage that comes through, on passing downs, which is clearly something that Cook has to work on. Or maybe this is the year he finally excels at it, so we're never worried about having Cook in there. He is tied for the 6th highest paid running back in the NFL. So again, that's great to see. He's clearly a great player. I don't know. I'll list a few of my favorite moments of James Cook's career so far. Let me know if you have better ones, but the one that stands out the most is that touchdown against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game where James Cook outstretches the ball while in midair and just barely gets over the goal line. I mean, that effort alone, I feel like could have been all the reason to give him a contract extension. I mean, if he approaches his entire career like that one play, I mean, he's just going to keep getting better and better each season. A few of my other favorite plays, one last year, I believe it was against the Broncos in the playoffs as well, in the wild card round, when someone stripped the ball from him, he fumbled it, and it bounced right back into his arms, and he kept running. That was cool. I know in the post-game recap I wasn't super thrilled about it, but it was a cool play looking back on it. We forget sometimes too that where he came from. His very first carry ever as a Buffalo Bill, as a rookie against the LA Rams 3 years ago, he fumbled. He fumbled that play, and I don't believe he came in for the rest of the game. I think he sat out the entire home opener, his first rookie game, and that's the kind of thing that certain players, I'm not saying it could have ruined their careers, but it definitely could have set them back a lot more than it set James Cook back. He had some fumble issues early in his career, but he's made up for those. I think he's done a lot better protecting the ball, and obviously mentally strong. You don't get over that first carry ever. Can you imagine that? Like walking into your company the first day on the construction project or whatever, and you just completely botch the first thing, and your boss sends you back into the trailer or the break room or whatever. You're done for the day. So that's quite the comeback story. I know that seems small and insignificant in the grand scheme of things, and I know it is to a point, but I mean that takes a lot. It takes a lot of mentally. You mentioned that he wasn't really worried that he knew the contract extension was going to happen. It's interesting to see this all play out because I actually haven't caught the second episode of Hard Knocks. Looking to watch it tonight. I was gone this past weekend, out of town, so I'm hoping to catch that tonight. But his hold in maybe perhaps sets a precedent for future players looking for an extension. This is something that Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott have never dealt with as leading this team, that they haven't really had a player that wouldn't participate in practice looking for a contract extension. Usually it doesn't get to that point, but this year did, and it ended up maybe tipping the scales. Maybe this was James Cook's idea of like 4D chess. Man, if there's a season to do this, to cause as much drama as possible on a stage where the entire NFL will be watching, including players, that if I hold in after having a great season and I don't get a contract extension, what does that say to future free agents? Oh, well, geez, they don't even take care of their own. Maybe James Cook is thinking that way. Maybe he's just thinking on another level, but it'll be interesting to see if anyone else in the future uses this strategy to get a new contract. I'm curious. I doubt it, but it's possible. Brandon Beane's been really good at giving contract extensions to these guys before the last season of their contract. So he's gotten really good deals out of these players. The only downside to this, I will say, is that I hope that this extension doesn't potentially prevent Brandon Beane from extending a player like Connor McGovern, the Bills center Connor McGovern, which we know is going to become a free agent this next season. I mentioned in the last episode, Josh Allen on Hard Knocks was like, "I love you, man, I love you." After he was dapping up all his other players, it seemed like an interesting moment. Whereas, most of them is just silliness and laughing and fun handshakes and stuff like that. But he definitely, seems somewhat close to his center. So I'm not sure if that means that the contract extension for Connor McGovern is off the table, or maybe they find room other places. Matt Warren, the former editor-in-chief of Buffalo Rumblings, SB Nation, is on the Buffalo Rumblings podcast network with us back in the day. He mentioned he thinks that it's possible that Alec Anderson or Cedric Van Pran Granger, the second-year center out of Georgia, could be replacing Connor McGovern next season. So that's kind of where they think he's going to. And you know what? If Aaron Cromer signs off on it, because he's one of our most important positional coaches ever, if he gets an inkling that those two guys can handle the workload, then I trust it. I trust that it can happen. I trust that this can be the future for the Buffalo Bills and the offensive line, because I think the offensive line is the best it's ever been, and I attribute a lot of what they're doing to James Cook's year last season. So if you're not going to build around Connor McGovern, then obviously you're still building around Deion Dawkins, Spencer Brown, and then Osiris Torrance. Osiris Torrance is looking great. He could be up for a contract extension in 2027. So hopefully that's still something that can happen, even with this contract extension. So yeah, a lot of exciting things for the Buffalo Bills. I'm excited. This is a season where the Bills could absolutely go for a Super Bowl. And would it be crazy to think that James Cook would be a large part of that? I think that he would have to be, whether he got an extension now or didn't, or just played out his last season on the contract. He was going to he's going to be a big part of the season if he played. So lots of exciting stuff. I'm happy as a Bills fan. I'm curious to see what it impacts later on for the Buffalo Bills contracts. But as of right now, man, going into 2025, I'm stoked. I'm stoked they have the best running back they've had on the roster since LaShawn McCoy. And, even before that, it had been a while, maybe Fred Jackson before that. So this is good. I hope you guys are happy as well. Leave it in the comments. Let me know if you guys enjoyed it as well. But I'm going to sign off for here. So signing off for Nate. Go Bills. And we will talk to you guys again very soon.